In part 2 of introduction to curriculum development, we will learn about curriculum planning and development. Curriculum planning has been defined in a various way. Curriculum planning is a process in which participants at many levels make a decision about what the process of learning ought to be and how those purposes might be carried out through teaching learning situation and whether the purpose and meaning are both appropriate and effective. Number two, curriculum planning consists of all the process necessary to plan for and write a curriculum. Number three, curriculum planning is the process of gathering, shorting, selecting, balancing, synthesizing relevant information from many sources in order to design those experiences that will assist learner in attaining the goal of curriculum. Number four, curriculum planning in the orderly study and improvement of schooling in the light of stated object. And number five, curriculum planning is the preliminary phase of curriculum development when the curriculum worker make decision and take action to establish the plan that teacher and student carried out. Number six, curriculum planning is a process whereby arrangement of learning opportunity or curriculum plan are created. Next one is a characteristic of curriculum planning. They may be stated at in six different ways. Number one, curriculum planning is ultimate concern with experience of learner. Curriculum planning involves decision about both content and planning. Number three, curriculum planning involves decision about variety of issue. Number four, curriculum planning include many groups. And number five, curriculum planning take place at many level. Number six, curriculum planning is a continuous process. Next one is the process of curriculum development. The process of curriculum development begin with the following. Number one is formulation of objective of curriculum, which are based on the ultimate aims of the life and also the political and social psychology and development need of the country. Number two, a specification of the objective of education in respect of different stages of school education and also in respect of different subject and activities and experiences at different stage of education. Number three, the determination of scheme of study, syllabi is etc. Number four, preparation of instruction like textbook, supplementary readers, workbook, teacher guides. Number five, implementation of curriculum at the school. Number six, evaluation of curriculum to ensure quality control for effective, suitable modification in curriculum. Next one is a effective curriculum planning. Following are the some crucial factors which guide effectively curriculum planning. Curriculum planning might be based upon a clear conception of what makes a good life. Curriculum planning must take into account the characteristic of past, contemporary, and future society. Number three, curriculum goal should be addressed a broad range of need, interest of both individual and the society. Number four, curriculum planning should recognize and encourage diversity among the learner. Number five, curriculum planning must make provision of all aspect of teaching learning situation. That should include suggestive activity, content, resource, and measuring devices. It is. Number six, planning should be done in the light of characteristic of learner for whom they are intended. Number seven, curriculum planning should also make use of approaches other than subject area approach. Number eight, curriculum planning must provide flexibility to allow the teacher pupil planning. Number nine, curriculum planning must provide for the infusion of spontaneous ideas which emerge during the interaction of learner and teachers. Number 10, curriculum planning should reflect a balance among cognitive, affective, psychomotor need of learner. Number 11, curriculum planning should include the provision for reflective thinking, valuing enhancement of self-concept and self-esteem. Number 12, cooperative planning and development are the most effectively done in cooperative setting. Number 13, curriculum planning should take into consideration an integrated set of experiences rather than a disjoint conglomeration of activity. Number 14, curriculum planning must provide for the continuous evaluation of all aspects of curriculum. Next one is a basic principle of curriculum development. The curriculum is a tool in the hand of teacher to give training to the student in the art of living together in the community. It is a tool which considerable help to inculcate those standards of the moral action which are essential for successful living in the society and for getting true satisfaction out of the life. It is therefore very essential that curriculum should be based on sound principle. The following principle should be kept in mind when forming curriculum. The constructive principle. The following number one is a constructive principle. It has been stated that nations live in a present, on the past, and for the future. This means that present, the past, the future need of the community should be taken into consideration. The past is a great guide for the present as it helps to decide what has been useful to those who have gone before and what will be used to those who are going through now, and the point has been explained in the handbook of suggestion for the teacher as it is in fact being increasingly recognized that the various subject of curriculum represent certain form of skills and certain branches of knowledge which have proved to be of importance in experience of race and which have to be taught to each succeeding generation. From this point of view, it is the function of the school to preserve and transmit the tradition, knowledge, standard of conduct on which our civilization depend. This principle will help only when we carefully select as to what things of the past are likely to help us in the present and all the things of the past may not suit us. It is therefore essential that we should select only those subjects and activity which are required by the present generation. This principle has been criticized by some educationists on the ground that it look to subject and not to the pupil. It is contended by the antagonists that in these days when it is accepted that education and the school and therefore curriculum should be a child centered. The principle does not take us very far. It may be replied to such critics that to condemn everything of the past is not a sound policy, especially in a country which has had a glorious past and which showed the past of knowledge to the other countries. Another point is to be stressed is that there must be a base of stand upon, and if the base is durable, it must be accepted. Thirdly, it would be wrong to say that the past the child was entirely ignored. However, as stated above, the principle of selectivity should be adopted in the selection of curriculum on the basis of past. Next one is the second principle is forward looked principle. While discussing the first principle, we have pointed out in the present, past, future present future need and requirement for the community should given their due place. Children of the today are the citizen of tomorrow. Therefore, their education should be such as it enable them to be progressive minded person. Education should be given them a foundation of knowledge and feeling that will enable them to change the environment where changing is needed. Next one is a creative principle. In the curriculum, those activities should be included which enable the child to exercise his creative and constructive power. The objective of education is to discover and develop a special interest, test and the aptitude. Fuller says the promoting to anyone of our intellectual interest may fade away and become practically irrevocable unless opportunity be then and there forthcoming. None of the child's native guest should be escape our notice, and so please of inscenation in the curriculum that suit to the need of today and of the future. There must be defined by toward definitely creative activity. Next one is a activity principle. The curriculum should be taught in terms of activity and experience rather than knowledge to be acquired and fact to be stored. Growth and learning take place only where there is activity, experience rather than instruction to meet the need of various stages of growth. In the word of John Dewey, the journal movement is away from the old over-reliance and verbal instruction, formulated subject and learning from the book, and in the direction of more varied and may sided individual activity in kept with the child real interest. Playground, shops, workshop, workroom, laboratories not only direct on the natural activity tendency of youth but also involve the intercourse, communication, and cooperation. Abbott would report Aberdeen report, he has also stressed the activity principle. It is vitally important that young children should not be acquired to sit still for a long period at a time. A young child need a rest. In it is a true but it he must play, he must explore, he must be physically active if he is to drive a daily satisfaction out of his attendance at a school. In short, he need experience more than instruction. Curriculum must be ensure that that activity of the body and mind should be the center of curriculum. All modern methods of teaching, kindergarten, Montessori, project-based, etc. are based on the principle of activity. Next one is the principle of life. In the principle of life, the most important principle is to construction of curriculum education must equip an individual for a life. Hence, curriculum must include those activities which enable the child to take his part effectively and amicably in the activities of the community. When he become an adult, we have to prepare him in such a way as he capable of facing the various challenging of complex problem of future. Next one is a child-centered curriculum. It is true that that child is to be prepared for our life, but this does not mean that his immediate interest should be sacrificed for the sake of future, which is indefinite. The highest preparation for a life that we can give a child is to help him to live fully and richly his life at the stage at which he is. The child automatically prepare himself for the next stage by living will and true life at once stage. Smith and Harrison observe education regards the child as an individual growing by his own activity, living his own environment, and prepare himself for the adult life, not by imitating the adult, but by living as fully as possible in the environment of childhood. Number seven is a principle of maturity. The curriculum should be adapted to the grade of people and for the stage of mental and physical development in the early childhood wonder and romance predominates, so subject and activity which present the element of wonder and romance should be included at the stage. At the latter stage they are interested in a practical thing, so that elementary stage the curriculum should provide the practical problem. At the next stage, that is a secondary stage, students are interested in the generalization, and accordingly curriculum should provide such activity. The child at this stage is keen to discover, to find out, and discuss new facts. The curriculum should harness the adventurous spirits of growing child. The experience provided should be within the comprehension of the student. Next one is a principle of individual differences. Individuals differ in the taste, temperature, skill, experience, aptitude, and innate ability and insights. Therefore, the curriculum should be adapted to the individualized difference and should not be rigid. Vertical and horizontal articulation number 9. On the other hand, each year of course should be built on what has been done in a previous year, and at the same time should serve as a basis for the subsequent work. It is absolutely essential that entire curriculum should be coordinated. Question next one, and number 10 is a principle of linking with the life. Community need and characteristics should be kept in view while forming a curriculum. Next one is a principle of comprehension and the balance. The curriculum should be formed in such that every aspect of life, economic, relationship, social activities, occupational, spiritual life is given due emphasis. 12 is a principle of loyalty. The curriculum should be planned in such a manner that it teach the true sense of loyalty to the family, school, community, to own province and country and the world at large. This should enable the child to understand that there is a unity in diversity. Number 13 is a flexibility curriculum should take into consideration in a special need and circumstances of the pupil. Curriculum of a girls may not always be identical with the boys. The special need of both sex should be given their due consideration in general curriculum of the village. In urban school will the same, but there might be variation according to the specific need of locality. Next one is the principle of care. Principle of care are common subject. There are a certain broad area of knowledge, skill, and appreciation with which all the children must be made conversant, and these should find a place in the curriculum. There is a major importance at a higher secondary stage where there are diversified courses. These subjects are be common to all groups. They are known as core subject, mother language, regional language, special studies, general course, general science, including mathematics, and one craft and expected to the core subject. Next one is the principle of layer. The curriculum should be prepared to the children for the use of layer time. According to the Herbert Spencer, literature, music, art occupy the layer part of the life and should therefore occupy the layer part of education. Their capacity to enjoy greatly determine our main capacity to work. If the layer is spent in gambling, drinking, and reading, absent literature, it will hamper progress not only an individual but also the nation as a whole. The school curriculum should therefore prepare the would be citizen to use effectively their leisure time. Next one is a principle all around development of the body, mind, and spirit. All kind of the experience should be provided to the student should develop all he may be develop their all powers. Next one is the element of the curriculum. The curriculum development process consists of variety of phases or elements. The curriculum planner have to consider all these phases while working on a such process according to the J.S. Farenta in 1990. And the element of curriculum development are the philosophy, society, aims, educational administration, school organization, teaching material, teacher roles, and teaching methods. In the word of Lawton D. Lawton D. in 1976, the element of curriculum are the goals, objective, content, processes, resources, and mean of evaluation. Villan 1974 has given five elements of curriculum: selection of an aims, goals, and objective. Number two, selection of learning experience calculated to help the attainment of these aim, goals, and objective. Number three, selection of content, subject matter through which certain type of experience certain might be offered, may be offered. Number four, the organization and integration of learning experience and content with the respect to the teaching and learning process within the school and classroom. Number five, evaluation of the effectiveness of all aspect of the phase 2, 3, and 4 in attaining the goal detail in phase 1. In the light of above mentioned element and taking into consideration the educational system in Pakistan, curriculum must have the following important basic factor. Number one is a situational analysis, setting the objective, content, learning experience, evaluation. Number one is a situational analysis, geographical consideration of the country, society, its religion and culture all influence the process of curriculum development. As one of the function of the curriculum is to provide the cultural heritage of the society, and the school program are responsible to transmit its heritage to the coming generation. The curriculum development process is also influenced by the geographical condition, especially when the general decision are made for the school timing during the working time, summer, winter vacation, availability of natural resources, animal, plants, etc. In some ways, sociological condition is also important to kept in the view. According to the Murray Print, 1993, curriculum development served the function of translating the traditional assumption, ideas, values, knowledge, and attitude into the curriculum objective content, learning activity, and evaluation of these elements. Sociologists' source have their greatest impact on the educational system of the country. When the curriculum are planning, the cultural background of the concerned society is also considered. The objective which are set, the content which is selected, the method that are followed, and the evaluation process which are adopted all can only effectively done if they are according to the curriculum and religious background of the country. Curriculum planner have to be given due importance in the society, believe, attitude, values, and likeness, dislikes, etc. during the process of curriculum development. Number two is a setting of objective. Setting of objective. The objective play a vital role in the curriculum design. They are starting point. Nothing can be done without having any target to be achieved, which 1967 indicate that there is a normally four source of input through with curriculum develop go for objective. They are society, knowledge, learner, and learning process. Four knowledge are these. The curriculum planner used research finding and opinion of the philosopher, educationalist, psychologist, subject specialist, sociologist, and as input of their design. The selection of the objective are based on the collection of collective value position, which is supposed to be representative of the society, because the composition of committee is meant to reflect this, and the opinion of the committee is focused on the main target and objective to be achieved. Perhaps you tends to use the term goal, aims, and objective interchangeably, but in fact these terms express different concepts. Therefore, we should be clear about the main distinction at this stage. Although there are target treated in much more detail in coming units. Educational aim refer to all overall purpose of education, which represent the need and aspiration of society as manifested in its educational policies. Goal are the general purpose of education that are normally prepared for the particular stage or level of educational system, where the objective referred more precisely into the changes in the behavior which we hope will result from the studying particular course. While goal are the less generalized than aim but less specific than objective. The very first question one must face in developing curriculum is what are its aim and objective. There must be some point of planning activity, some intended educational outcome. When consideration the nature of an objective, we come across many conflicting views about issue like what do we teach, what should be the purpose of education. For example, what is the major purpose of the education, and what should be selected as the teaching material to reach or achieve the main purpose. Next one is the subject matter of the content. This is the element in which have been emphasized mainly in the past. At the time of subject matter selection, following factor must be considered: type and society culture, type of curriculum, number of diverse curriculum courses offered, scope of subject itself, level, age of learner, number of qualification of teacher, available resources and the resources, strength of curriculum, demand of the society, international need, method of content organization, system of examination. Next one is the method of teaching activity. This is another important element of the curriculum development. This include the method adopted by the teacher during the instruction and the learning experience or activity performed by the student. This element has been ignored too often in the past, and even in it is being ignored at the present. It is not fair to ask teacher to achieve a certain goal without giving them guideline how to go to the achievement to desired goal in Pakistan. And the curriculum development process is a centralized. The teacher are not directly involved in this process, so most of them are ignorant of the process of achievement of desired goal. They may be subject specialist with the full command on the subject matter, but still they have the problem of selecting appropriate method of teaching and engaging the learner in various activity accordingly. After we are determined the aims, goals, and objective, the next important problem is the selection of the subject matter out of the huge amount of ever expanding knowledge. What should be important our people, what knowledge is a greater value of them to them. Further, should we emphasize process information? Should a curriculum be fixed or flexible, constant or common to all, or differentiate practical or level? Number four is evaluation. Curriculum development is a dynamic process which need to be continuous research and evaluation for its betterment in order to cope with the society demand and bring about desirable changes. Evaluation is made by the curriculum planner and researcher and teacher. Curriculum evaluation must not be misinterpretation as a student evaluation. It is a broad term used to make a judgment about this set curriculum and make a decision about the worth or effectiveness of it. On the basis of evaluation, the expert can modify the curriculum by bringing about the desirable changing, keeping into account the process of dynamic nature of curriculum development. Evaluation become necessary for the design making at all stage of curriculum planning. Gubba and Stoffelbeam 1970 identify the four decisions which involve in curriculum evaluation. Number one is a planning objective to be selective, planning procedure, personal method, material to be employed, implementation procedure, whether or continue modification or ambient procedural or plan, and number four is outcome, extent of achievement and target or objectives. The summary. The curriculum summary of this chapter is curriculum is a Latin word which which mean the race course on the on a runway which one take to reach a goal. Thus, the curriculum is an instruction and educative program through which people achieve their goal, ideas, aspiration of the life. Curriculum is a tool in the hand of the artist teacher that mold the material the pupil according to their ideas in his study school, and the curriculum however cannot be considered synonymously with the course of study, although they form an important part of the curriculum. The curriculum in the recent year has come to be mean all the plan activity and experience which are available to the student under the direction of the school. It includes the totality of experience that pupil receive through the mindfold activity that go on in the school, in the class, in library, laboratory, workshop, playground, in the numerous informal contact between the teacher and the pupils. In this sense, the whole life of the school become the curriculum which can touch the life of the student and at all the point help him into the evaluation of the balanced personality. For constructing the curriculum, these principles should be in the mind. Curriculum should be child centered. Curriculum should be provide fullness of experience. Curriculum should be provision of flexibility within the framework of acceptance principle and values. The curriculum should be related to the work need and aspiration of the pupil. The curriculum should be developed a rational outlook. Curriculum emphasize on learning the live rather than living to learn. Curriculum should be make provision for the society useful productive work. Curriculum should be able to promote the social justice, democratic values, and the national integration. Curriculum should be make adequate provision for the study of languages. Curriculum should be provision of the artistic experience and expression. Curriculum should make a provision for physical development. It should have provision for the character building and human values. Curriculum should provide the uniformity and variety. It should provide the continuity in the whole program. It should be well integrated. That's all from this unit.